Welcome back. Today, the spotlight, of course, is on the great state of Indiana. It's National Indiana Day. The Hoosier State is filled with rich history, and you can see it a lot on display at the Indiana State Museum. And joining me this morning with more is Susanna Karaber. She is the chief curator for the museum. Suzanne, good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Why is this so important? The museum so important?
Well, the museum has been around for over 150 years and really covers all things Indiana. So we're art, we're history, we're the natural sciences, and we actually have 12 locations around the state. So there are a lot of places, a lot of real people, real stories, and real objects to explore.
Let's talk about some of those items that are on display at the museum.
So one of the great treasures is the Lincoln Financial Foundation collection, which is one of the largest collections of Lincoln material in the country. And a lot of people don't realize that Lincoln lived here from the age of 7 to 21. So really a lot of his formative values came from his growing up in Indiana. And a lot of those legends of Lincoln reading by the fireside and, you know, becoming the rail splitter that he became so well known as, those really are Indiana legends.
Tell me about the Lincoln Quick Step.
The Lincoln Quick Step is one of many, many pieces of election memorabilia that came out of the 1860 election. So Lincoln was a rising star in the political field, and his image out there was as this frontier man, the rail splitter. People would carry rails he supposedly split into conventions and into meetings and rallies. And so that's part of that image of Lincoln as really a common man who understood the needs of people of all backgrounds.
His mallet is also on display as well.
And the mallet started out as a rail splitting maul.
Taking a look at that now.
And you can see that there's a depression down the center of it. That's where it broke in half, and he repurposed it as a mallet. You can also see his initials, AL, and the date 1829, if you look closely. So this is something, when he moved to Illinois in 1830, the mallet was left behind with a neighbor, Barnabas Carter, and it descended in the family to the great-great-great-grandchildren, and then we were very fortunate that they decided to share it with everyone at the museum.
It's an incredible piece of history there. Next, we have Gene Stratton Porter. For people who may not know who she is, tell me a little about her and her career really quickly.
Well, at one time, she would have been very well known. In the early 1900s, it was the golden age of Indiana literature, where we had more bestsellers than any place except New York, and near the top of that list was Gene Stratton Porter. She wrote some 12 novels as well as nature books, had more than 50 million readers. We actually have two of her homes, Limberlost and Gene Stratton Porter, as part of the sites. But what's really cool about her is when she needed something, she figured out how to do it. So she taught herself photography, took beautiful nature photographs. 8 of her films or novels were made into films.
Fascinating.
And she actually moved to California to start her own production company. So there's there are a lot of great stories around her, and although she may not be so well known today, one of her big fans is J.K. Rowling.
Wow. Okay. Last question here. We can't talk about Indiana without talking about Bobby Plump.
Yes. So those fans, either of the story of Milan making it to the state championship in 1954, or of the fictionalized version in the movie Hoosiers, know Bobby Plump is the one who made that famous last shot. And what could be more Indiana than the backboard that he used as a boy? He got it for his 9th birthday. His father made it out of salvaged planks and hung it on the smokehouse. It never had a net, just the metal ring, but that's where he practiced and practiced and practiced and set up for that winning shot.
And check out that jacket there.
Yes, we're very fortunate. He's been very generous, so we have material from both high school and his career at Butler, and that includes his warm-up jacket that you see from his high school uniform, and we also have his letter jacket.
That's cool. And Chuck Taylor's as well.
Yes, in fact, we have Chuck Taylor's Chuck Taylors.
Okay. We could talk about this on and on for hours. Thank you so much, Susanna Karaber, for joining us this morning to talk more about what's at the museum. We appreciate it. For more information on the Indiana State Museum, just head over to our website, fox59.com/link.